The woman stared at her name engraved on the ring and suddenly thought that marrying this arranged husband wasn't so bad after all. Just as she leaned in to kiss his cheek, the CEO seemed to sense her movement and turned his head sharply, making her kiss him right on the lips. It was their first kiss in an entire month of marriage, and with that one gesture, the CEO finally confirmed that she had fallen in love with him. She had always thought the CEO had married her only to stabilize his company, so she kept her distance this whole time. Little did she know that the CEO had fallen in love with her at first sight 3 years earlier. Unfortunately, she was engaged to someone else back then, so the CEO had no choice but to hide his feelings deep in his heart. But then her stepsister, desperate to steal her fiancé, framed her for sleeping with a stranger. This not only got her fiancé to call off their engagement, but also caused her mother to fall seriously ill and need emergency surgery. Desperate, she begged her father for money for the operation, only for her stepmother to demand that she sleep with a client for one night in exchange. Just as she was at her wit's end, the CEO, who had learned everything, showed up just in time. He told her that if she married him, he would cover all of her mother's medical expenses. Right before their wedding, the woman confessed her entire past to him. What she didn't know was that the man she'd slept with that night 3 years ago was none other than the CEO standing in front of her. The CEO didn't tell her the truth. Instead, he gently took her hand and walked her down the aisle. The very next day, he arranged for the best surgeon in the country to operate on her mother. At first, the woman was still distant, but the CEO took gentle care of her every single day. When he noticed her hands were cold, he'd immediately run out to buy her a hot coffee to warm them up. A single offhand compliment from her would make him happy for an entire day. And when he saw her being bullied by her stepmother, he'd quietly get revenge for her, letting everyone know that she had someone looking out for her. But what the CEO didn't expect was that even after all his care, the woman still thought her celebrity idol was more charming. This made him instantly jealous. He pulled her tightly into his arms and asked her who was more handsome, him or the idol. Sensing his jealousy, the woman quickly reassured him, saying she only wanted to invite the idol to be on her variety show. Even though he was still furious with jealousy, the CEO was willing to help her fulfill her dream. The next day, he arranged a meeting between her and the idol. But right after they finished discussing the collaboration, he deliberately kissed the woman right in front of the idol. This domineering gesture left the idol stunned, while the woman smiled to herself. She had finally found someone who truly loved her.